Change this.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. It picks up Well, before we start the meeting, there are a couple of quick public service announcements. For an emergency, please note the exits on either side of the chambers and proceed down the stairs. Bathrooms are located at the door to my left, women's room is to the right, and men's room is to the left. We allow 30 minutes for public speaking. If you have not done so already, please sign up at the podium if you're in chambers or through the Zoom chat. This meeting is now called to order at 7:39 p.m. on July 12, 2022. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence.
Thank you. You may be seated. May I please have roll call?
Alderman Hill,
Excused.
Alderman Franco,
Here.
Alderman Scott Childress,
Present.
Alderman Worthington, Alderman Mohammed,
Here.
Alderman Davis,
Here.
Alderman Oliveri,
Here.
Alderman Shabbat,
Excused.
Alderman Hirsch.
Excused. Thank you. We have a quorum. Can I have a motion to dispense with the minutes of the previous meeting and approve the same? Motion by Bernie Scott Childress, second by Tony Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is adopted 6-0. Can I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the general bills? Motion by Bernie Scott Childress, second by Rita Worthington. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is adopted 6-0. We're now entering into the public speaking portion of the meeting. We have allotted 30 minutes for this purpose. Speakers will have 3 minutes to address the council. If there are remaining speakers after 30 minutes, I will call for a motion from the council to extend the period for another 30 minutes. Speakers, please direct your comments to the chair, as council members cannot engage in debate during this time. Please state your name and address on the record before you address the council. For the audience and in chambers and on Zoom, there shall be no distractions when a speaker is addressing the council. The Common Council also received written comments for our consideration, and they could be found on the city's website under tonight's agenda. And just in case there are speakers here to speak on resolution number 144, which is a declaration of the housing crisis, I will be stating this as we get to it. We will not be voting on that tonight. We have scheduled a public hearing later this month and another meeting to vote on it. You are more than welcome to address the council on that or any other resolution or any other subject that you wish in the 3 minutes. But I just wanted to give you all a heads up in case that is why you're here. Can I have the first speaker, please?
Donald Pesciata,
Did you say only have 3 minutes?
You have 3 minutes.
I need an hour and a half, so that's not gonna happen. Okay, real quick, I came here to Kingston, Stony Run. I've been here not even 4 years, 3.5 years. I went through 3 owners. First one was good. 6 months after I'm living there, new guy come in, changing the lease, you're gonna get a lease. We have to raise you up $100 because it's bringing the apartment up to market value. Okay, 2 weeks later, call me in again. We're superseding that lease because we're gonna give you another lease and it's $100 more now. And then you sign up for $100 more increase the following year. Excuse me. This is when the mayor is trying to implement the rent control. So they're trying to get in on the ground floor and get like another $200 out of me. Anyhow, new owner comes in, forget about this guy, which is the present owner. Bunch of baloney in the newspaper what the mission statement was. Nobody's gonna go 5%, 5%, 5%, and then we're gonna go to market value, talking about rent increases. Well, my lease was due to expire July, which it did. So 6 months ago, they sent me new lease, 11% raise. I go down there, argue, no negotiations here, that's it, 11%. Long story short, which I can't do this in 3 minutes. When I got that notice for the rent increase, I came here to this building, mayor's office several times, housing director several times, the law department a couple of times, human resources. I was in contact with legal aid and the Daily Freeman reporter, some young lady named Ariel. Legal aid suggested I send a letter to the property manager asking for 3.5%. Citing the, what's the law, eviction law that's out there now, which they didn't even know existed. Anyhow, I went through all that, sent copies to the legal aid lawyer, the Daily Freeman, and my property manager. She says, out of the question. She says, maybe I can get that 11% to 10%. I said, you're not doing me no favors. Anyhow, I can't get all this in there. There was the complete exodus out of Stony Run. All the U-Hauls were going out.
Sir, that's 3 minutes.
I ain't gonna make this. Okay, real quick. Here's a good cause in my hand. Here's my rent increase. The law, the violator. I got no help from the city at all on it. And that's my point. I went to Ulster County Prosecutor's Office and asked them if they would take my complaint to take Kingston on in a court battle to fight for me. They said, oh, we
Sir,
can
I do have to ask you to stop. If you would like to continue with written comments, you could email us and we could all get that. We also will have a public hearing on this matter on July 26th.
I will write that down. So, well, that's what I'm here for. You need some kind of rent control here. What was that date, Mrs.?
July 26th,
What time?
6:30 p.m. in this room,
6:30?
6:30.
You need it. They're unscrupulous and they lie. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is online and it is Tanya Garment.
Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hi, Tanya. We could hear you.
Thanks. One is, I'd like to remind everybody that Acre asking for a pilot agreement to do what they called affordable housing. I think this is an example of us really needing to have some actual public housing, because these are for-profit organizations, and more the city of Kingston is only investigating developing housing with the help of the city of Kingston. Developing housing, there are some inherent problems with that. I think this is an example of it. And I also wanted to say that in the communication is on Public Works is asking for more money for roads, and I don't have anything against that. But I want to point out that we also have a very high need towards walkability and bikeability, supporting that. And I would like to encourage the Common Council to really consider things like some kind of buffers for the bike lane on Broadway. We don't, it's a great design in part in that it has cars as a buffer. It's the cars should buffer the bike lane, but unfortunately we don't have enough parking, enough business, enough use of Broadway yet, so that there's not enough cars to actually form a buffer. And we also have a very thin bike lane and a very thin buffer strip between the cars and the bike lane. So we absolutely need something to stop the cars from parking in the bike lane and going around cars into the bike lane. And I hope that the city of Kingston will really consider buying a vehicle that can sweep and plow trails, and the bike lane would make real use of that. We could have permanent bollards if we got a vehicle that did that. We also have the Midtown Linear Park that could be used for. So we should not only be relying on grants for walkability and bikeability. Please understand what a public good that would be. Thank you, or what it is.
Thank you, Tanya. Next speaker, please.
The next speaker is also online, Amanda, and we will need your last name.
My name is Amanda Sissenstein, Sisenstein. I live in Ward 4. I am calling in, I guess, to show my support for Resolution 144. Good cause was a step in the right direction. However, it has its flaws. And it's not enough to protect all tenants in all situations. Anything additional, I mean, that's, like I said, it's a stepping stone. So this should be used to kind of keep stepping up to the next layer of protections for tenants. It absolutely is right that we're in a housing crisis, and we were in one before the pandemic, and now it is, I mean, I don't even think we ever could have thought the 50, 60, 70% increases in rent over the course of 3 years, like we've seen. I don't think we ever could have even imagined that was going to happen before COVID hit. But it has, and this is what's happening. And it's happening everywhere, including the city of Kingston. Stony Run is not the only place that people have been fleeing from. And as we've seen with that place and many other places, the constant changes of ownership, the flagrant disregard for tenant law, like good cause, like the fact that new owners are bound by law to adhere to the current lease until it runs out before they can impose new terms or anything like that for leases. So, I mean, this is also showing that we need more powerful enforcement of the laws that we have. So in addition to this, in addition to good cause, passing rent control, passing, calling us a housing crisis, our next step after this, because, even if you pass Resolution 144 and we put in rent control, that's still not the end. We still need to keep going. We need better enforcement of our current laws. We need better ways to hold troublesome landlords accountable. I do want to acknowledge not all landlords are problems, but the ones who are huge problems, and they often tend to be the ones that own multiple properties. So we need ways to rein them in and hold them accountable to the law. That's it for me. Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you. That's all we have on Zoom. Is there anybody else in chambers who would like to speak who's not signed up? Yep, just come up and just introduce yourself, name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Sterling Cruz Herr, and I live right across the street, 68 West O'Reilly, with my wife, and just moved here in the last year. So we're part of the problem, which is we're the gentrifiers, and we're part of the queer community. So we're trying to figure out how to be part of the solution. And we're here today because of the protections that this council has implemented and is trying to implement. And just want to say that we are very grateful for the city that has been created, that we are able to come to from Brooklyn. We are excited about getting engaged. We're involved with the Emergency Food Coalition, the Wednesday Walk for Black Lives, Rise Up Kingston, and we're going to get a lot more gentrifiers involved. And you want people involved. I know you do. And so I just want to say that we're here because we're standing with people who need rent protections, and we're standing with people who are fighting eviction, and we're going to get organized and we're going to be partnering with you. And so just wanted to say that we're here, we're glad to be here, and we want to partner with you in continuing to make Kingston this city that people are so proud to be a part of.
Thank you. And I saw another hand.
Good evening, everyone. I am looking forward to you guys passing.
I'm sorry, can you just say your name and
Oh,
address
sorry,
for
my
the
name
record?
is-
Thank you.
Ann Ames. I live in Kingston for about 20-something years now. And I'm hoping that the ETPA, am I pronouncing those right? ETPA, is it ETPA? I'm hoping that that'll be passed, and I'm also hoping that it might create a board where we could have some people in the community who are activists for housing on that board. And that's it.
Thank you. Anybody else in chambers who'd like to speak? Come on up.
Hello, my name is Kat Boss. I've lived in Kingston for just over a year now, and I want to strongly urge the council to support declaring a rental emergency. Kingston is more expensive at its fair market rent value than 95% of other fair market rent value areas in the US, and that number is just increasing. When I moved here, I was very excited about moving to a place outside of New York City that was accessible, that was affordable, and it's quickly becoming clear that I'm going to have to relocate, as well as many other people that I knew who moved here during the pandemic, simply because wages and opportunities here are not keeping up with the rate at which rents are increasing as people move into the area to take advantage of the cost of land, especially outside the city, who bring in Airbnbs and so on. So I encourage efforts toward rent stabilization to make sure that people who have been in Kingston for a long time can stay here, to make sure people who are coming to Kingston and bringing their skills and resources can stay here. And also, I would love to see the council move towards action on including activists in decision-making, as well as taking on the forces that are leading to this degree of gentrification, like the use of private properties as rentals when they could be going to stable, affordable housing for people who've been in the community for some time. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in chambers who would like to speak or on Zoom? Please.
Hello, my name is Shannon Cruiser, and as Sterling stated, we live on West O'Reilly, and we're new to the community, but also want to strongly encourage that action is taken on declaring an emergency for affordable housing. And I also, related, but a different topic, is on our street, there are lots of families, lots of children, lots of people walking their dogs, and it is very unsafe how quickly people drive down the street. It seems to be a shortcut from Broadway to Mary's Avenue. And so just thinking about how to continue cultivating community and creating a safe environment for people to be walking and meeting their neighbors. There was an accident, so we're right next to the our house backs up to the high school, and there's an entrance to the high school that has no stop sign, and so one would think it would be a natural place to stop, but people don't stop because there isn't a stop sign. So there was a crash right in front of our house. Again, very dangerous, and just encouraging if there could be a way to post an additional sign. It is 25 miles an hour, and I would say people probably go around 40. So if there is a way to have a speed bump or a stop sign to encourage a safer area. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else who would like to speak? Anybody else who would like to speak? All right, then I will close up the public speaking portion of our meeting. We now Okay, thank you. Alderman Scott Childress reminded me I made an announcement before public speaking, but I do know people came in on Zoom and to chambers afterwards. We will not be voting tonight on Resolution 144 declaring a housing crisis. Instead, we will be doing a public hearing on July 26th at 6:30 p.m. And then I called for a special common council meeting so we could vote on July 28th, 6:30 p.m. So in a couple of weeks, we'll be doing that. We will not be voting on that tonight. Thank you. We now enter into claims and communications. Hearing no discussion, they will be on file in the clerk's office. Can I get a motion to dispense for the second reading of the general bills and pay same? Motion by Rennie Scott Childress. Couldn't even keep up with myself there. Second by Tony Davis. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is adopted 6-0. We are now entering into the report of committees, starting with resolution number 124, please.
Resolution 124 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the Building Safety and Zoning Department in the amount of $6,379.17 to cover unexpected department retirements.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 125, please.
Resolution 125 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, requesting that John Toohey's employment contract be renewed for the period June 7th, 2023 through June 6th, 2029.
On the question, Alderman Rennie Scott Childress, please.
Thank you, Madam President. I would just like to say that I am ecstatic that John Toohey is going to be staying with us. He's been an amazing comptroller for us. He has been through several administrations. He's seen the best of times and the worst of times, and he's able to manage a very difficult process with aplomb and even humor. So I'm excited that we can be supporting him with this new contract, and I look forward to working with John in perpetuity.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 126, please.
Resolution 126 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the city clerk's office from contingency in the amount of $4,794 to cover the expense of microphone repairs in chambers.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 127, please.
Resolution 127 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to accept recreational trails program grants funds in the amount of $250,000 from the New York State Office of Parks and Recreation and Historic Preservation for the Kingston Point Rail Trail Phase 2 project, and to execute any and all related documents.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 128, please.
Resolution 128 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to expend funds in the first instance for the City of Kingston's Downtown Revitalization Initiative Grant number 201-80136 from the New York State Office of Homes and Community Renewal for the DRI Stockade Business District Small Grants Program.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 129, please.
Resolution 129 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, approving the MOA between the City of Kingston and the Kingston PBA Union covering the period January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2025.
On the question, Alderman Rennie Scott Childress.
I will be in favor of this resolution. And I just want to say our police officers here in Kingston do a marvelous job given the difficulties that they face. We know that police officers in this country are facing a lot of controversy. Oftentimes it's because they are not adequately trained. But here in Kingston, our officers engage in a great amount of training and have been, I think, showing up in a way that demonstrates that they not only go through the training, but they take it to heart. We have not had a police-involved shooting in years and years. We have not had the kind of troubles that we've seen in some other localities. So I would just like to say a shout out to our police officers here in Kingston for the good work that they do. And I look forward to continuing to work with them here in the future. I'm proud too that this is a 6-year contract. It covers 3 years over the previous negotiation, and then also gives us 3 years upcoming before the next contract would be due. I think this is a great agreement all the way around. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing no discussion, I will call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 130, please.
Resolution 130 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, requesting a 2022 budget transfer from the DRI Stockade Business District Small Grants Program funds in the amount of $600,000.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 131, please.
Resolution 131 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to expend funds in the first instance for the City of Kingston's CDBG CV grant number 599 CVPS71-22 in the amount of $321,034 from the New York Office of Homes and Community Renewal for Mobile Mental Health Co-Response Team Pilot Program and to execute any and all related documents.
On the question? Alderwoman Rita Worthington.
Rather than voting on it individually, they all have to be the mayor, authorizing the mayor to spend funds or submit applications or grants for various.
I thought it was 134 to 137. We're going to do that. 132. You're one ahead. Yeah. So can you hold that thought and we'll come back to you? Verbatim. So the motion is off the floor now. Anybody else on resolution 131? Hearing no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 132, please.
Resolution 132 of 2020. Do you want to say it first? Okay.
And actually, can you make sure that you use your microphone when you're speaking? People aren't hearing on Zoom.
Thank you. I forget what I said before. So I'd like to make a motion that we do a block of resolutions 132 to 137. 139, 139, as they all are related to authorizing the mayor to expend funds and or submit applications to various agencies for grants.
That's a resolution or a motion to block resolutions 132 through resolution 139. That's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Rennie Scott Childress. All in favor to block vote these resolutions?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, 6-0. We're going to block resolutions 132 to 139. Thank you to our lovely clerk for reading all of these.
Resolution 132 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation grantor name for a wastewater infrastructure engineering planning grant in the amount of $50,000 for the wastewater treatment plant upgrades project and to execute any and all related documents. Resolution 133 of 2022, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for an Environmental Protection Fund Parks Program Grant in the amount of $500,000 for the Deet Stadium Upgrades Phase 3 project and to execute any and all related documents. Resolution 134 of 2022, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for a heritage area in the amount of $500,000 for the Kingston Neighborhood Skate Park project and to execute any and all related documents. Resolution 135 of 2022, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for a Climate Smart Communities Program grant in the amount of $50,000 for a municipal refrigerant management plan and to execute any and all related documents. Resolution 136 of 2022, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation grantor name for a wastewater infrastructure engineering planning grant in the amount of $50,000 for the sanitary sewer collection system and pump stations upgrades project and to execute any and all related documents. Resolution 137 of 2022, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Department of State and a Brownfield Opportunity Area Program grant in the amount of $300,000 for the Midtown Brownfield Opportunity Area Designation Project name and to execute any and all related documents. Resolution 138 of 2022, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, endorsing support for Rubco Incorporated for a grant from the Housing Trust Fund Corporation administered by the New York State Homes and Community Renewal for the New York Main Street program to support the Revitalize Broadway Corridor program. Resolution 139 of 2022, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, endorsing support for the Rare Center for Immigrant Culture and History for a grant from the Environmental Protection Fund under the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for the Rare Center Rehabilitation Program, which will include comprehensive repairs and upgrades to the roof and exterior envelope of the Rare Center's 101 Broadway building.
Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I will call for the vote. You are voting for resolution 132 through 139. All in favor? Opposed? Resolutions 132 through 139 pass 6-0. Moving to resolution 140, please.
Resolution 140 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the Grants Management Department in the amount of $56,046 for the purchase of specialty rescue equipment.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 141, please.
Resolution 141 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to expend funds in the first instance for the City of Kingston's Dormitory Authority of the State of New York, grant number 24663, in the amount of $56,046 for the purchase of specialty rescue equipment and to execute any and all related documents.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to resolution 142, please.
Resolution 142 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, requesting a 2022 budget transfer in the Comptroller's Department in the amount of $16,650 to balance the Comptroller's office accounts on a year-to-date basis.
On the question, hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to Resolution 143, please.
Resolution 143 of 2022. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, requesting a 2022 budget transfer from fund balance in the amount of $1,484,132.11 for the utilization of excess fund balance.
On the question, hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. As I've mentioned earlier in tonight's meeting, we will not be voting today on Resolution 144. Instead, we will host a public hearing on the matter on Tuesday, July 26th at 6:30 p.m. It will be a hybrid meeting in chambers and on Zoom. And then there will be a special common council meeting on Thursday, July 28th at 6:30 p.m., also hybrid in chambers and through Zoom to vote for Resolution 144. So we will now be moving to Resolution 145.
Resolution 145 of 2022. An ordinance amending an ordinance in relation to the traffic on the public streets of the City of Kingston, New York, adding no parking on Railroad Avenue.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to Resolution 146, please.
Resolution 146 of 2022. An ordinance amending an ordinance in relation to the traffic on the public streets of the City of Kingston, New York, adding handicap parking on Catherine Street.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-0. Moving to Resolution 147, please.
Resolution 147 of 2022. An ordinance amending an ordinance in relation to the traffic on the public streets of the City of Kingston, New York, adding handicap parking on Green Street.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is passed 6-0. Moving to the second reading and vote of Local Law 2.
Local Law 2 of 2022 of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the adoption of a new Chapter 87 of the Code of the City of Kingston entitled Open Meeting Participation.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I will call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Local law is adopted 6-0. That concludes our communications. Before we adjourn, does anybody have anything else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion by Renee Scott Childress, second by Michael Olivieri. All in favor? Opposed? Our meeting is hereby adjourned at 8:16 p.m. Until the next regularly scheduled meeting on August 2nd, 2022 at 7:30 p.m.